get the rope, they get the Aegis onto Dendy, and the shards will slow down a little bit, but they'll get back out. Very,
nice.
very, very quick heads-up play from Navi. This game, 20 minutes in, it's a close one for sure. 19-12, sure, the leading skills there for Infamous, but it's only less than a 1k difference with that Roshan now going towards Navi. So
Yeah. And that's with
incredibly close game.
That's with how far. I mean, Lil's got more gold than both of the supports combined on Infamous, but Dendy's absolutely struggling though. Still bottom 4 net worth on this gyrocopter. 1 in 6 even. So they have given him the Aegis. So now Infamous, of course, they want to. I don't know if they really need to completely wait out the Aegis. They probably don't want to take a head on 5v5, but they're going to wait for the ethereal bait to be finished on Minos because then they can get quick, easy pickoffs. So they do have an idea of where Navi is because of this ward that they have down bottom.
I think the thing is as well, surely if you're Navi, you are more than fine with the game sort of hits a passive pace, because as the game goes on, you are going to have this sort of gyro faces for a duo, sort of very, very strong late game carries, whereas Infamous, it's going to be a lot of weight on Minos. And it's morphling as the game goes on, as the rest of his cores will fall off in terms of sort of damage output. In comparison to heroes like the Void and Gyro, once they get sort of those late game heavy pickups.
Yeah, and I mean it's also you always versus like a Doom and Void playing versus those two heroes later on, like late stage of the games, just become crazy.
Yeah, they're also just so game winning in the right situations.
So with this Aegis, he's gonna claim themselves quite a lot of map control here and probably close this gold advantage to 0. Infamous just trying to get this Ethereal Blade online. They've now got it finished for Minos, so he can actually get quick, easy pickoffs in the back lines. But, I mean, Crystallize is about to have BKB. They're going to have a very hard time actually bringing down this Void now, because in theory, you know, the Disruptor Static Storm is a very good spell versus Void, but he hasn't gotten the opportunity to actually find Crystallize. Crystallize is definitely playing incredibly well this game, as he needs to.
As we expected with the stats, but not wrong. In lane, quick burst. We'll take the Aegis out of the hands of Dendy. Same time, down towards bottom. They managed to get the Static Storm out onto General. General does have backup. LeBron trying to help out. Doom gets dropped down. And can they get the kill in return with the Death Ward? They're going to get close to it, and they do. They manage to get the Omni in return for losing their V-Spot to Crystallize. Comes in with the Chrono onto 2. They'll cut down Disruptor, but the burst is too high. Minos is the carry coming out on top. Will dispatch of this crystallized Void. Now they turn towards Lil. They're going to get the Doom as well.
And he flaks the whole entire Ancients.
Oh, that's smart.
The dream.
Value farming and value flat. Be careful, sir. Jeez. He's falling a little low. But, I mean, this really is a game where it is the battle between Minos and Crystallize, and that was Minos coming out way on top. Bursting down Crystallize.
And he killed Dendy before the fight started, and to clear the Aegis, so Dendy comes to the fight late, so he steals the flak as well, so he has flak later on stage. That was very well played by the Morphling.
I mean, let's certainly look at the difference between Minos and Void because of those kills. I think we're seeing it there, you know, with the changes, the sort of the individual value of killing off the big cores as he did there, in terms of obviously just killing Crystallize in particular, really offsets the two cores in terms of overall net worth now. So Minos racing ahead, level 17. Very close to that 18.
And I mean, this is a very good Morphling game, too.
Yeah.
They have means to catch him, but with this early Lincoln Sphere Ray picked up, and he's got an Omni Knight on his team, can make it much easier for him. And Lil.
Try and go for the control. They have got the glimpse back. Won't quite be back into the field, but it looks like it doesn't matter. Surround him, punch him down. They'll take him out. Lil's gone. 45 seconds. Same time down bottom. The burst comes through. Crystallize will be there along with General. They're trying to bring down Minos in response for losing their Witch Doctor. He is very, very low, out of mana, and it will be beaten down. Slowly but surely, the two of them get him. The damage output with the Mask of Madness, having the Necro units as well, enough to just drain that Morphling right down.
He was literally mid-animation of doing the waveform, and the mana burn added up. Infamous trying to punch back, trying to find something new. General's got Blink, blinks away, and we'll be just fine.
It really is a close one, no doubt about it. And as we sort of would hope to see in these best of ones, both teams really fighting it at it tooth and nail.
It really is just like the Crystallize versus Minos a lot of the time.
And as we see, it really does. It goes both ways. If they can get some sort of disable onto Crystallize and burst him with Minos before he gets the BKB off, the burst damage is enough at this stage to take him out. But at the same time, Crystallize, He's able to lay down a Chrono onto Minos. There's not a lot that Morphling can do about it.
Yeah. They're going to have the Omni Aghanim soon, too, so we always have Guardian Angel for those situations.
I mean, that certainly makes Crystallizer's life a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, they will, if General's there, though, they can always purge it off with the book. That's the one very nice thing that they can have. And it looks like he's actually going to be going for a Nullifier next on Crystallize.
Oh, I mean,
to be able to dispel.
Another perfect answer to playing against this Axe GA that's going to be there soon.
Yep.
And all in all, a very nice item for Void, because now Crystallize can look to sort of get the kills without having to worry about having the Chronosphere at the ready. So just that chase down potential, and making sure that Infamous have the inability to react with any of their items. Dendy still playing the catch-up game, and to be fair, he's starting to get himself back up in the ranks.
Yeah,
back on level with Pepita in farm on that Viper.
Yeah, Navi's been constantly under vision though. Infamous has been very, very attentive on keeping the wards up in the enemy jungle to watch the movements. And yeah, Dendy is catching up, but I'm still pretty impressed that Pepita is 7-2, and this is, we saw before, it's like one of his most winning heroes, but he's keeping up as a Viper.
Item build wise, 1,200 gold. He's going to have a full IC for the team.
Yeah.
So all the little bits adding up in terms of sort of just keeping one another alive in the Chronosphere if they do get caught out.
Now they've got some more catch on the side of Infamous too, so not only relying on this glimpse, which they kind of have been, they have the Blink Dagger now on Schofield. Blink on Lil as well. That was picked up a bit earlier, of course, but both force supports have ways to actually get into the fight. Bit of a slowdown. Infamous, knowing that, Navi has Chrono, they have Roar, they've got Doom all available, so taking head-on fights isn't really the most ideal. Navi.
Minos looked like he was thinking about going for a quick burst play, but
again,
a little risky to do so.
Again, the ward's being placed on the left side. They saw all of Navi's rotation, so he gets a little bit scared to go for that. Crystallize.
He's got the Chrono.
Peter's got a plate mail though. He's got like 30 armor on this Viper.
Yeah, you're not going for this on your own.
And you need to expend the Chrono, and then it's like, oh my god, if I don't get it, like you're in a very difficult spot for the next 2 minutes. So it's definitely not worth trying to go for that. I think that's the Aghanims finished as well now. Aghanims for Omni Knight and Manta Style for the Morphling. Does Navi have anything else big coming out soon?
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Don't see
attack.
anything just yet.
Another tower for Infamous. Come down towards bottom, finally finish it off. Both
Incredibly
teams
close. Yeah, 1k gold lead, 2k, not even 2k experience, it's just neck and neck.
Both teams sort of dodging one another.
Yeah.
Navi will put the pressure up on top. They don't have Crystallize with them though. No Chrono for this push. Just a bit of a tickle away at the tier 3s.
Next up top.
Go for the jump in. Usually Raw, Death Ward, everything thrown down onto the poor old Disruptor. Takes Axel out. Interesting there, as you can see, Pepita. Highest average kills in 10 minutes in the entirety of this GESC lap.
He did have that one Razor game where he just popped off, right?
Oh,
he had
true.
like 14 kills or something in the first 20, or first like 18.
Against RRQ, we saw that this morning. Quite a game quite a series for Infamous as a whole. And so far, as we've been saying, standing their own against Navi.
I think Infamous might want to have like, I mean, I say this, but they do already have wards on the left side, but I feel like having a ward in their jungle might actually pay off. Because Navi's been playing a lot around that area.
Dire are scanning.
I think Crystallize does have now the Nullifier finished, and Dendy's gone for the SNY. So some stats to tank up. This Nullifier. We've seen the power of what it can do.
Infamous are in the pit.
And they've got the AC finished too. They kill it very quickly. The Hawk does scout it.
Ooh, Navi, are they going to head over? They're trying to, but look at the speed it falls. Can he get in there? Jump forward, General. Throws out the axes. The Aegis is going to be picked up by Minos. They'll get the Chrono out. GA is out in response. Crystallize trying to finish off this Morphling, but with the GA up, he can't quite do it. Crystallize will be able to take the cheese, pop it himself, jumps back out with the Time Walk. He'll keep himself alive with that stolen cheese. Now the Tail with the Doom, take the Aegis out of the hands of Minos. The BKB's out from Denny on the front lines with the flag. He's doing a lot. The Death Ward's still down onto Pepita. General, back for a second go, out with the Roar, with the Mute as well, down, out onto Minos. Minos trying to wait for himself out of this. He's got the Selfie Blade with the magical damage. He's bringing him down low. Can he really play his way out of this? The Purification comes out as Stinger. Minos turns into the gyro. He's got the flag. He's hitting back.
Oh
Minos,
my God.
he's still alive there. Wave falls forward with the repel as well for Stinger. They just can't kill him. He's chasing them down as the gyrocopter. There's 3 dead on Navi. Minos is Morphling, turning things around. Those sort of gyro morphs that we were seeing there, absolutely insane as he just kicks out an incredible amount of damage in this fight and keeps himself alive.
I didn't get to see exactly. I know that he roared an Ancient there on General, but I think I didn't see if the Lincoln's was back up. So I think he was expecting that the Lincoln's was off cooldown, so he didn't want to get it blocked. So he's just trying to go for like a push play here. And this big one was by Stinger there. Stinger not being caught inside the fight, getting that Guardian Angel off, getting the heals and repels on Minos was absolutely clutch.
And here we have, straight in. That's a tier 3 down. Denny's had to buy back for this one. They're going to try their best for the defense. They look towards Minos. Quick wave bomb down to the low ground. Turns for the E-Blade. Denny gets bursted low. Pots the BKB. Only just keeping himself alive there. The melee racks are taken. Infamous now with an 8k gold lead and a melee racks up. Minos, he came here to win.
Yeah, they're in a very comfortable spot now. Now they've got Blink Dagger, they've got more positioning items, a lot of luxury gold going their way because these racks is being brought down.
Look at the damage dealt by this Morphling. No surprises, really. And as you've been said as well, sort of the quiet hero behind it, Pepita, getting a lot done in these fights as well. Each and every time, just laying down the nether toxins and such. Pretty annoying, you know. Some of the heroes you don't really necessarily think about a lot, but like the Void and the Beastmaster, taking away sort of the bash potential and the attack speed, or there's sort of significant parts of the team fight that Navi do sort of rely on in terms of getting the damage out. If he gets that breakout with the poison, they're not going to be there.
And they have so many things they actually have to focus on the side of Navi. It's like, okay, we really have to focus this Omni Knight and this Morphling, but during all that, yeah, like you're talking about, Pepita's just sitting there wailing on everybody.
Yeah, that AC, and now very close to having an S and Y. He's going full right click. On the side, they'll certainly show that Hawk.
Now, I actually think now Minos has
he's
just
massive.
he has enough to one-shot Dendy with the Ethereal combo.
Oh, absolutely. If that BKB doesn't come out in time, Dendy's dead.
Yep.
That's a lot of agi on this morph. And he's still got ways to go in terms of just stepping it up even more. Queuing up the butterfly, of course, next. Just ramping it up so that burst, as we say, will almost be at the point where it can take down anyone in the lineup of Navi, or at least bring them very, very close to dying.
I'm surprised Stinger's actually not going for Lincolns for himself anyway, because I think in these fights it's been pretty important that he's not getting doomed up, and I think like Lil's been having a bit of trouble actually finding the doom targets. Like in that last one too, I think he doomed the morph as he was pretty much dying, and so they really need to Navi needs to be able to get these big ultimates on more crucial targets at better times.
Infamous.
Very comfortable now.
Absolutely, certainly feeling the lead that they've managed to amount.
Dire are scanning.
As you can really see that drop off there on the network for Navi. That last fight, incredibly painful for them with the way that Infamous were playing.
It was split-second things too. Like I was clicking on Crystallize the Void. He had time walk up in like a half a second, pretty much. As soon as he jumps in, it was like if he had it just up a little bit sooner, maybe he could have gotten in. But yeah, I mean, it's just the little things.
Any sort of fight where the chrono doesn't result in a kill, it's probably going to be a lost fight for Navi.
Yeah.
As we saw, he jumps in, solo chrono onto the Morphling, and he can't kill him. And that is when you start to, big flags are sort of raised in the area of whether Navi can actually get the kills if they don't get the chrono up and get multiple heroes in it. Crystallizer's got to really just continue to look for that perfect opportunity. At this stage of the game, one-man chronos aren't going to quite cut it.
It does feel like it's a bit harder to execute on the side of Navi. Just they have to be able to see the backlines, and the thing is that Stinger can play so far away because he's gone for that Aghanim's build, so he's always going to be able to get Guardian Angel off in the fights.
And the Midas certainly paying off.
Yeah.
And 2.8k towards the refresher off. We'll see the difference here between these two. As the kill and the Cisco, surprisingly, very, very close between one another.
It's fairly even. It's just like the buildings that the morphs got into. Yeah, the neutrals and the buildings.
the biggest differences here.
I mean, it makes sense. It's not a Battle Fury Void,
Sure,
and it's your versus a Morphling, so
Yeah,
there's no
exactly.
way you're going to farm creeps as fast as a Morphling when you're a Void. Unless you have that build. So Pepita is also queued up a Nullifier next.
Dire's middle tower.
This Viper's level 23.
Hey.
Like this,
This
like
is crazy how much Pepita has found.
The level 25 on Viper is actually pretty crazy. I don't know if he's... I really like the Nether Toxin silences. I actually think that's the better one, but the 120 damage is quite a lot. Especially in this type of game where he's getting kind of ignored. I feel like he could actually start being a big damage dealer in this game.
I mean, absolutely. If you're going for the SNY AC build, you're being the carry yourself in that sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll definitely see him consider the 120
I mean,
damage.
the other thing is that the Nether Toxin silence is an 100%. You can silence permanently if the people are stuck in it, of course. But
true, but BKBs are out in the cores.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
I mean,
but you're right. You know, BKBs are going to get. You know, they're going to go down in duration.
I hope he takes the damage. I don't think I've actually seen a Viper take the damage.
No,
I haven't seen many 25.
I was going the level 25 Vipers have not been a frequent occurrence. So if anything, I feel like a lot of the Vipers that we've been seeing lately have just been losing.
Mm-hmm.
And Pepita, as you were sort of saying to me beforehand, this is his hero.
This is his hero.
This is the hero that they will get him and take him at any opportunity, and we're seeing why.
They play very comfortable around it, is the thing. So there's the gem, of course, picked up from Infamous a couple moments ago. So they're just continuing to clear this map control and just accrue more and more of a net worth advantage.
I mean, as well, I'm wondering. I'm looking at Dendy. I know he's got the butterfly queued up. He's got a lot of money. Are we getting close to consider rapier territory for the gyro?
I don't think so. I think this is a game where they can take it in the later stages because they've got Doom and Void. I feel like the Rapier is like the fact that he can just get one-shotted by Morphling is way too scary to have a Rapier.
Okay, I guess you're absolutely right. In a Morphling game, I don't know if Envy would even. Actually, Envy would probably buy it still.
They'd have to be a little bit more behind.
Yes. As you say, Navi, even though 11k behind, one melee racks down, they've got sort of that. So the Gyro Void combination, which in itself can turn any sort of team fight. And especially, Dendy now with the completed butterfly will now offer quite a punch himself. His bottom lane, Infamous, heading towards the base. They're ready to try and look and set eyes onto a second set of racks here from Navi. We'll see if Navi can do the best of stopping them. They've got the Crimson Guard out of the tower, helping it out against that illusion push. Shadowblade as well, picked up a general, so he's got that extra chance of getting in and finding those sort of crucial setup rolls for the fight. But you have to be aware, of course, that Schofield is walking around with that gem.
Full butterfly now too, as well for Minos now. So
that's a lot of agi.
Yeah, he's only at like 307. 300. I'm not doing the math.
Do the maths, Fog. Come on, 342.
There you go. Good job. You did
that's
it.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot, and his damage is also very similar to that.
Dire are scanning.
Infamous just staying around the bottom area, looking to pick a fight. We found out now Roche is going to be spawning in 30 seconds.
Okay.
That's a huge Roche for both sides.
Oh,
the Refresher Shard on a Void or on Doom or on Omni Knight can be crazy.
Omni on Infamous is going to be the one that wants it on the lane. They managed to catch the morph, but the GA come through. They've doomed him, nullified him. They should have a good shot for killing him, but no. They repel the snowball. They're buying some time here. Is it going to be enough? It's not. The Doom will persist, and they will be able to take down Minos. Navi looking to turn things around and ready to chase for more. They go straight for Axel here. Dendy with the chase down. The flak hits fly through. Dendy will pick up the double. Pepita gets out just in the nick of time with that TP. But Navi able to strike back hard. And this time, that sort of just heavy solo focus. It'll probably kill pretty much anything in the game. With the Doom, the Chrono, the Nullifier, everything laid down onto Minos.
Yeah.
They can kill that Morphling and get him out of the game, but they have to catch him with that Chrono. Crucial time though, as you were saying, Roshan's up. Navi are in there. This is that Refresher Shard. Roshan and Navi, they should... I mean, there's 3 heroes up on Infamous. I mean, Infamous are going to know the importance of doing this. Can they actually stop Navi, though? They send the courier and they protect it so they can get the vision. Now, on the side, Lil, he's coming in. He's trying to draw Infamous away from this Roshan. Roshan falling so low. Infamous desperately trying to get in and involved in the pit. They've got the snowball. They're coming in. They want to steal it. Who's going to grab what? Navi will get the kill. Dendy will get the Aegis. Where's the shards and the Chizo? That's the big question. Pepita's being focused.
Shard's still on the ground.
So Navi
They got everything, I
will
think.
get everything despite the attempt from Infamous to get involved in the pit. Infamous knew how crucial it was to try and stop Navi from taking it all, but Navi, they get everything and they get kills as well. They get Schofield, they get Pepita on his Viper.
And the game has completely turned.
That Roshan.
Yeah, the Roshan and just that Chronosphere by Crystallize. Again, 6-1 and 11 on this Void. It seems very hard for Infamous to actually take fights now into this. Every time that there's a Chronosphere available, all they really have to do is grab the Morphling and get a Doom on him.
And here we have it.
Minos.
LeBron getting bursted. Minos focusing a second. BKB comes out from Crystallize, pops down the Chrono. Time walks quickly. He's caught Minos again. The buyback comes out from Pepita. The Doom's down onto this Minos. He's going to go down. He does not have buyback. The Morphling's out for 90 seconds. Navi chasing up to the high ground, turning towards Pepita. The Infernal Blade's down. The Snowball comes out from Schofield, buying some time for Pepita to stay alive. And now he can turn. Looks towards Lil. Lil will fall on the Doom. The Aegis is popped. The break's down. They surround this gyro. Can Pepita carry the side through with Minos at the sideline? It looks like he can. They'll take down Dendi. They've managed to trap up LeBron as well. Infamous will turn this game back just as quickly as Navi were able to get hold of it. Pepita's Viper, now level 25, as he gets that triple kill. He's got the money for the nullifier. And this, I mean, the whole game, we've sort of been shifting most of the focus towards this Morph, and I wouldn't be surprised if Navi would have sort of tunnel visioned as well onto Minos. But now we're at a point where the Viper's the scarier of the two.
Yeah, I mean, they have to tunnel vision the Morpho. They have to throw everything on top of Minos, or he's just going to take control of the fight completely. But like the clutch situations there, the saves coming out from Schofield, the
snowballs.
Yeah. Yep, and then having time for the Stinger to get those heals off. And the repel on a Pepita. And he does take the damage down because of that build that he's got.
That's a lot of punching.
Yeah.
A lot of spitting. And Pepita, he's got the money pretty much for that butterfly if he wants to go all in.
Super back and forth game though.
Actually, I say that. Interesting. He picked up the Eagle song, and then he went back and sold it. So I wonder if he's considering something else. I mean, obviously they're butterflies that maybe he considers an MKB for himself. Oh, the Hex is going to be chosen by Pepita.
Okay. So Hex to catch the Void.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Hex, of course, absolutely game-winning. If he gets a Hex onto the Void, there's not going to be much save at all from Navi.
Yeah,
if he can catch Crystallize, that could be game over.
I mean, he already does a ridiculous amount of damage on the Viper anyway. Yeah, so this gives him the mana sustain for him to actually just be able to spam everything constantly.
Oh, what a game between these two teams, an incredibly back and forth one, and one made ever so more exciting about the fact that there is just a best of one.
Yeah.
Top lane, Stinger jumping forward, looking towards General. General with the Shadow Blade. Vision isn't there for Infamous, so General will be able to get out.
Yeah, he went downward thinking General would go back toward base, but General making the smart move. During that, Minos had a DD as well on the Morphling, so they were really looking to try to take some kind of fight.
I wouldn't be surprised if we sort of see Infamous wait a little bit, because they are just 1,000 gold away from having the Aghanims on Disruptor as well.
Yeah, they're going to be getting big items. Aghanims on Disruptor, Refresher on the Omni Knight.
Dire are scanning.
Lane. Managed to find Vision onto General. They're going with the Snowball. General keeping the distance. He's going to go straight for the Shadowblade TP out. He's got the Vision, but can't quite get in time to cancel the TP. General will be able to get back to the safety of his teammates.
So we do see Doom and we see Void, and we're like, man, those two heroes late game, they pack quite a punch. They always are going to get scarier and scarier as the game progresses. But the same thing kind of goes if the Disruptor does get the Aghanims.
If he gets the
That's one of those items that can completely change a game.
Yeah.
And 9k gold lead. It went from a 12k gold lead to a 1k gold lead back to that 9k gold lead for Infamous.
Oh, this is crazy.
Same with the experience. It's just been all over the place.
And the thing is, as we've seen, despite it being at the moment in favor of Infamous, it absolutely doesn't write Navi off. We know that they can take a fight from behind. Of course, the difficulty goes up and up. So there we go. That's quite. I'm a little surprised.
I'm actually
thought there would be a bit
surprised
only 5 since TI5.
I guess you don't really see Vipers get to that much gold.
I guess.
That's an expensive item for a Viper.
I mean, it is true. We do not see Vipers get to this sort of stage of the game and be in such a position that Pepita is every sort of day. But there we have it. But as we sort of discussed, absolutely understandable decision. A very, very quick blink out there, nearly getting touched upon by Infamous.
These fights are really going to be up to the initiations. Who gets the initial catch? And that's
as well. Look at this 44-minute blink. So
Blink
Pepita, he knows if he gets the Blink Hex off onto Crystallize at the start of the fight arguably is over. Like, that is such a big way for Infamous to kick things off. And his itemization, it's purely for that alone. I mean, maybe not necessarily the Void, but that's obviously going to be one of the higher priority targets.
Just
but
start the fight.
Exactly.
Start the fight 45. Yeah.
Because other than that, where's your initiation? Snowballs, there's nothing really sort of a wham bam. And that's your wham bam from Infamous that could lead to closing the game up in your favor.
Minos has gone for Shadow Blade now too, so he wants to try to get those catches on the sides and on the back. Overall, I'm really impressed with the warding game from Infamous, and just like, sure they bought the gem like earlier and they had an advantage, so they were able to clear out a lot of the wards, but I do really like the way that they've been keeping map control a lot of the times.
Identity, he has got the money for the MKB, and as we've been saying, Identity silently he's been farming away, and he's getting to the point where he's pretty damn big. You want to show a stat, don't you?
I was trying, yeah, I failed.
Go,
oh, did it work?
What are you trying to show?
Anyway, I was just trying to show some support gold. Yeah. So pretty even on both sides of the two supports getting those wards coming out, but I do feel like Infamous has been having a little bit more of that vision advantage, even though they're versus a Beastmaster, which is pretty significant in these type of games where initiation is everything. Especially now, initiation has actually become the most important thing in this game.
Initiation in terms of play and in terms of timings, that Roshan once again, it's got a few more minutes. That could be the point of the game where we really see both teams clash. I mean, as it is, Navi are moving over to Infamous's half of the jungle.
Little Shadow Blade, he's going to walk into Schofield though, who has the gem.
Once blink and dodge each other. Top lane, quick blink out from Pepita. As he catches wind of General, trying to make some sort of initiation. Infamous will keep themselves away from Navi, but Navi just trying to sweep across this half of the map, get control of this area around Roshan in preparation for when it is once back up.
Yeah. Map control is super important at this point. Not like, of course, the third Roshan, but also these double runes that come out are going to have a pretty big effect. He does go for the backtrack on the Void this time. I think that's understandable when you're playing versus a shotgun Morphling. Sure, the Chronosphere AoE is traditionally safer, but this one is the safe pick versus to not get bursted down. Yeah. And now he can actually maybe survive versus that Hex.
Yeah, he needs every bit of survivability he can get, especially with sort of after the BKB going for this fully offensive build and Nullifier into the completed Bloodthorn, which he's got the money for, but obviously at this stage of the game you are really starting to consider how much you want to sort of prioritize saving for that buyback. As one death without buyback could end the game. Both teams with a significant amount of pushing potential on bottom lane. Minos, let me see if he can get a catch with Axel. They do have Stinger.
Could try here with the Disruptor ulti. They can.
They've got the jump in. They've got the setup. Static Storm's down. He's muted. He's getting bursted. That's Crystallized gone. 100 seconds and down. Quick plays there from Infamous. Dendi.
The Yule's Disruptor ulti is always one of the most... It's like uncounterable pretty much, because you just get caught in it, you're dead. Of course, the Yule's from the Omni Knight, but once the Disruptor has that Blink Dagger, it's much easier to pull that off every single time.
Now Infamous, they really want to try and force out that buyback from the Void. They know that Navi's going to potentially struggle in a 4v5 without that Chronosphere from Crystallize.
Oh, definitely. They need the Chrono in this game. I think they could definitely just try to force that buyback, but they don't want to lose a lot. Because we do know, if you buy back, you don't get to have that gold penalty anymore.
There we go. To the high ground. Minos and Pepita starting to chip away. So protection is there at the moment for Navi. Now the creeps come through. Look to refocus back onto the tier 3 tower. Crimson Guard slowing them down slightly, but Infamous have got their own Crimson Guard as well. They pop it out. They turn towards Dendi. Dendi's sort of on the front lines here. The charge trapping him out. There's the Hex. Quick Glimmer Cape and a force back keeps Dendi at bay. Navi will be able to protect the gyro, but the melee rack, that's going to be a different story. The melee racks to the bottom lane will fall. Navi being very resilient in the sense that they do not want to buy back on this Void. They're protecting that buyback, but it will cost them the full and completed bottom and mid lane of racks, as Infamous will be able to take it away. Navi do not expend the buyback, but they are now 2 full sets of racks down.
It's scary, right? Because if he buys back and goes in Chronos, and then Infamous all just buy back, and they go into that fight again, then Navi's in a bad situation because Roche is back up. So they can just wait for that Chrono and then buy back and go for that if they do get picked off. Now this is all about this this Roche fight. Roar comes out.
They've got a good way to start it, potentially. Quick force and the sharp block there from Schofield, making it very hard for Navi to chase down Axel. They'll put the cooldown, force forward onto LeBron. He goes for the cast, just managed to get to them with a bounce. The Death Ward as well beats into them. Buyback immediately from the Disruptor, as Infamous know the importance of holding on to this fight. Pepita trying to kite up this man. Will get the blink off. Blink dodges the nullifier from this Faceless Void. BKB's been popped by Crystallize and Dendy. There's the Chrono. Do they have the damage? GA comes out, but of course Crystallize has already used the nullifier. It isn't there to take off the GA. They'll get the Doom down, but he's already more to full strength. He'll turn, start to punch back. Lil falling low on the Doom. The Static Storm's out and down. LeBron, Glimmer Caves to keep himself alive with the roll forward there. They close the gap on the bigger target. Crystallize is down as well as Dendy. Both cores buying back immediately for Navi.
There's no Chrono, there's no Doom now. They've expended everything.
On the sideline, Stinger. He's got the setup onto General. They're going to look to try and chase, but Schofield's not there. They don't have the gem. Schofield trying to get in range, but Stinger just didn't have quite the control on General, so General will get out of there.
I think they shrine up and they just look to pick a fight right away.
They put the refresher up on Doom, so they can get that second instance of it out. Always.
He used it, yeah, he used it and put it back in the base.
Oh, that's smart. So they're not going to expect that at all.
Yeah.
They will not expect Doom to be back up. If that ends up being a big play, that is going to be incredibly clutch by Lil. I think only a few times in the past I've seen real true hides of the refresher of the classic C-Freak one, I believe, back from TI5 comes to mind. Can Lil do something big with the Doom reveal? We'll jump forward. Infamous protecting the pit. Schofield ready to go in with Pepita. There comes out the snowball to buy some time for it. Denny on the front lines. There's the second GA coming out. Mutant onto the Viper, but it's just not enough. Pepita just lives through it all. The Death Ward's down. They do get the Doom out onto the Morphling. They're trying to chase him, but Infamous are doing a good job of keeping Navi at bay. General finds the Roar, moves in with the Necro Books onto this Omni Knight. Dendy charging in, looking straight for Stinger. Stinger falling low, and they'll take.
Buybacks are all coming out. Morphling buys back, so does Doom.
And that Doom did end up finishing off the Morphling. So that surprise Doom, that pick up of the Refresh Orb and instantly putting it down, so they didn't know that a second instance of the ult was there, will allow Navi to come out on top, but they're having to expend buybacks themselves. Lil gets back in.
And they're going to be able to try to look for...
General.
In Schofield here will go down.
That's the gem.
And Chronosphere's back online too, jumping in the pit. He actually, Chrono's thinking they're in there.
He was... And the buybacks come out immediately now. Everyone buying back on Infamous. They've got the extra 2 out now. They're looking to try and get into the pit in time. Crystallize finishing up, but the snowball comes through. There's the Morphling as well. Roshan will fall in favor of Infamous. Infamous grab the Aegis.
Everything.
They get it all. And now Navi, they have to call GG. Both cores are down without buyback. Infamous will take the best of 1.
Wow. That was really well played by Infamous, to be honest. I think Crystallize had a lot of weight on his shoulders for the Void. But, I mean, I think Crystallize also delivered. I think at the end there, he expected him to go back in that Roche pit.
Yeah.
And he tried to go for that, but Infamous, all aware, everyone just buys back. And at these late stages of the games, that's where, like, initiation is absolutely everything. And if you're able to survive very long duration team fights like that, it's also super important. So, Stinger... I don't know, Stinger.
It was
I don't know, Stinger for me, this one, he really stepped it up because for me, I criticized him a good amount. Okay. But this one, I thought his itemization was perfect. He was always in the right position. I didn't see him get caught in Chrono at all. So, yeah, for me, the Omni Knight just had a really good performance. And, yeah, Infamous, they're able to take it from Navi.
Just the group play, the team play from Infamous. I feel like it's just sort of on a level that we haven't really seen before from Infamous.
No,
they have really tightened it up this LAN. And just solid performances all around. The core performance is incredible. The Pepita Viper, I mean, as you say, people already know this is sort of his speciality. We may even see some Viper bans as the LAN goes on if he continues to play like this.
I do think so.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Infamous take the series, this best of 1 against Navi, knocking them down.
Indeed they do, and in quite spectacular fashion as well. Indeed, the Pepita Fighter, obviously, the Minos Morphling. It was battle all around. It was a long game back and forth, a rough way to go for Navi, but overall, I mean, I think we got what we wanted. We wanted a game full of action, guys, and we got it. And I think the first thing we need to talk about is Roshan, because it felt like all the phases of the game, and there were a lot of different back and forth phases, were decided by Roche, Purge.
Yeah, Roche was a big deal. I think the other crucial things were just how well the laning stage went for Morphling. Like, he basically got free farm, he got a couple solo kills, and in that ways, the Beastmaster was a vulnerability again. Like he just couldn't defend himself against Morphling.
And as you see in the replay, just how badly it went for Gyro. Right, I thought that the lanes from Infamous overall were really solid, and it was really on the Schofield Tusk to potentially put him over the top, and he definitely did. It really looked like Navi in the early game had very little answer for the Tusk roam.
Yeah, they had basically a battle fog mentioned it, Lil versus Schofield, and they've got a Doom versus a Tusk, and then Tusk is just going to do a lot more to help out that middle lane. And because everybody was so busy middle lane, that Morphling had a lot of freedom to get a lot of farm up. The game overall was... They were able to bring it back, though.
I just think Infamous, the itemization and the fact that the Pepita Viper was able to keep up and farm were so huge because it just felt like a big game of, okay, I'll see your Roar and Doom and raise you a Nullifier on Void. Okay, no. We've got the Ags Disruptor. We've got, as the game went on, the Hex on the Viper, and I just don't think, without those heroes being able to get to those items, right? If this Viper can't keep up on in farm, and as you look at the cores there, Morphling, Void, Beastmaster, even Omni Knight, those are all Gyrocopter, of course, those are all cores that are always going to be able to keep up on farm. Viper, as the game goes on, typically does not. And if Pepita doesn't have those items, I think Infamous just doesn't have the tools.
Yeah, it also helped that that Navi was very teamfight reliant, and very teamfight cooldown reliant, and very kind of gank and single target kill reliant. Like Doom is gonna have to pick off the important teamfight hero. They've got to roar somebody as well. They've got Chronosphere, and because Infamous went for this lineup, that it looked like they weren't gonna be able to get kills themselves. But it's like Viper was not that much of a threat in some ways, so I feel like he just flew under the radar for all those important abilities the whole game, and that allowed him to go the smart right-click itemization and eventually become a really strong hero as a result. So. I mean, the safe lane, Morphling's position was a huge aspect of them being able to snowball, but it also just fit so well in the lineup because it looked like it was just going to be Omni doomed every fight, and then somehow Viper has to turn everything. But it wasn't like that. He was like, what I kept noticing in team fights is like, when all the crazy stuff that's happening, Viper's always out of position, but they couldn't even bother to put focus on him. They just couldn't kill him, and therefore he gets to do whatever he wants for like 40 seconds.
Yeah,
really
he's just not part of the equation. I mean, the calculus of fights for Navi is that, at least in the early game, right, you try to get Doom on one of the Omni or the Morphling and Chrono on the other. And as long as you got that, it feels like a winning. And you got Roar to kind of clean up the mess if you miss any of those prioritizations.
Or initiate or something.
But Morphling had Lincoln so early because of that fast start that all of a sudden you have to start thinking about breaking Lincolns before you can Doom or Roar him. And remember, Doom can't break Lincolns for himself anymore since the changes.
Can he use he can use a creep, can he?
Okay, if he has a creep, yeah. But he can't. He used to be able to level death to break Lincolns before.
That was like 4 years ago. Or
oh,
something.
all
I know
right.
you're an old man, but bring up the
Anyway,
past again.
as we were talking about in the draft, right? Who on Infamous is going to do the spread damage to get the heroes of Navi low so that Viper could do his thing? I did not expect the answer to be Flak Cannon Morphling.
Or just Viper himself.
Yeah.
Really. Like, it wasn't even an issue, I don't think, what Viper had. Just because they took early fights where his right click and his spells were more than enough to get kills. But, I mean, either way, Navi played, I think, amazing. I think Crystal Eyes has had incredible performances the last like 5 or 6 games that I've watched on him. Like the amount of times that they did like Roar into Chronosphere. I actually thought Infamous's Morphling was going to get behind because they ganked him